Welcome everyone. I'm Eleadi. I'm a project manager at Ideandum. I would like to welcome you on board on this series of webinars as Greta, can you see already my screen? Yes, everything's all right. Cool. I would like to welcome you on this series of webinar, which starts today with this first appointment. Today we're going to topic about, the title says most of it, let's say, the future of dental marketing, how to dominate online. So basically, I hope to give you some tips and tricks on things, actions you can do, but also some thoughts that you probably need to be making before making the first steps, or even if you are in the middle of the path, things to evaluate during your online adventure, let's say. So, as I mentioned, I'm Eleadi. I'm project manager for Ideandum since probably a few years now. And here in this picture, you can see Greta Zamperoni and Alessia Rancan, who are two of my dearest colleagues. And Greta is also with us today, and she is a partner in Ideandum UK. And Alessia Rancan is a specialist, and she is also project manager in Ideandum. And some of the webinars are held like with her, so I wanted to present her. But obviously, if you have the chance to follow all the series, you will probably will be able to meet her with her. Let's talk a little about Ideandum, just to give you an idea of who we are and why we feel that we can, provide such webinars. There's a lot of contents on the internet, a lot of people providing webinars, but why do we think that we are relevant? We are a marketing company specialized in the dental field since almost 12 years. And we have several partners, which you can see here in the pictures. And we have a big team of specialists who are working on different areas of marketing, because most of the times when you talk marketing, everyone is thinking about, oh, that's a one-man show. One person can do it all. It's not like this. You need to have a team with different specializations, with different people who perform different things. And that's what we created, or the environment we created in Ideandum, specializing in the dental field. Here in the pictures, you can see Greta Zamperoni, which we already seen in the previous slide, but also Riccardo Lucetti and his partners, Fabio Armida and Alessandro, who have founded the company and come from a dental field. So they were working all for Invisalign for several years prior to that. And why is it relevant? Because most of our team has worked previously in the dental field. Me, myself, I've been working in the dental field for probably 15 years now, and I'm a dental technician myself. So I try to always give that little more effort into understanding the needs of the customer, who happens to be in the end a dentist for us. We have several offices in different parts of the world. One in London, one in Vicenza, and one in Dubai. So we're growing internationally. And this webinar series we dedicate especially to the UK, so that we want to try to give a little bit of ideas to the dental field in the UK and make a little bit of an impression. We have several customers. Here you can see some of the brand markers we created for a few of them. And we are happy that in our journey, we had the chance to work with thousands of dentists, like more than 1,000 actually, dentists all over the world, in Italy, in UK, in UAE, in other, several countries. So why is it relevant? Because we have now, other than our personal experience in dentistry, all of these thousands dentists experience. So, and we are happy to translate everything to the new customers that we are going to create. So, what do we do? We obviously take the projects from dental practices to create lead generation, print designs, personal branding sometimes, uh, create the websites, the brochures, the social media. So to create an environment that makes your brand recognized throughout the different communication channels. And for us, it's very nice to see how a practice that probably has had the brochure in blue and the logo in red become a recognizable brand to its own patients. So we try to basically take your hands at the start and bring you to being recognized in the streets whenever you put a board. But let's start talking about the topic you are here for. So the future of dental marketing. As I said, this is a series of webinar. The next one is going to be in February. And we're going to talk on that meeting about the social media for dentists, how to turn likes into loyal patients, because sometimes these two things are not correlated. We can create very nice content, but in the end, you're still struggling to get that patient put that foot in so that you can start catching with your professional knowledge. And then we have a webinar who's going to be probably in the following months. Boost your dental practice with powerful dental marketing strategies. Implant marketing mystery, strategies to attract high-value patients. This specific meeting is going to be obviously about implant marketing, because implants is probably the field where we have the most of our requests, like in lead generation, in SEO positioning, in everything we do. Creating the perfect dental website, your gateway to success. When you create a website, what are the things that really matter to focus on, and what are the things that, okay, if they're there, it's nice, but probably it's better to keep the focus real high on the things that matter. So why digital marketing matters in nowadays? First of all, because the patient's experience starts online. If we were having this chat probably 20, 30 years ago, probably we wouldn't have this chat through a digital tool. We will be sitting in a place, looking at each other's eyes. But if you were looking for a service, if you happen to be looking for a service, you would then take the white pages and start scrolling around for a dentist in your area. And if you were not on the white pages, then you would not be relevant. You would not be part of the table of choices that these patients would have. But in nowadays, the online search has taken the place of the white pages, and this is the first approach that we can have with patients. So it's important to be there to at least make it to the list, and then, create everything so that you higher your chances to be chosen. Another reason why it matters, it's because if you don't do it, probably somebody else is doing it in your area, and you're going to be left behind, first of all, in my personal opinion, and I think that most of you can agree. And the second thing is that the local competition is growing. So probably the dentist at the end of the road is doing it already, and he has obviously more chances to be seen, more chances to be relevant, and more chances to attract patients. The third reason in my eyes is that when you make an investment business-wise, not even, in our business, talking about our businesses, business-wise, when you make an investment, you want to be able to calculate the return of investment that you're having. And you want to be able to know that if I spend £100 in here, most probably, marketing is very complex, but most probably I'm going to be able to have a return of such, patients, of such treatment plans accepted, of such, pounds in the end. So you can also manage your spending. So whenever, for example, you're having more cash flowing in, you want to invest a little more. You can also decide to invest a little less in periods where it's not important to be there with certain kinds of activities. So, for example, Christmas time when we are closing, probably we don't want to invest as much as we are investing in months like February, March, that are the higher months we have in dental practices. So, what are the emerging trends that are now shaping the future and probably we should keep an eye on so that we can create a path that brings us to success? We have to keep an eye on the new technologies that are rising. So, for example, we have Alexa, Siri, Bixby, sorry. Bixby is probably not the one for me. I'm generally Siri. So if now I say, hey Siri, my phone is probably gonna be like, hey, I'm listening. And if you're looking for a service, a lot of people are doing this, like asking these services to give them an idea of the landscape of opportunities that they have in their surrounding area. So for example, let's say I'm looking for a florist. I'll be, hey Siri, can you please look for a florist in the surrounding area? And he, in response, will give you, or she, depending on how you input the voice, will give you a landscape of the first few instances of florists in the area. So not being there for all of these people who have this habit, especially, probably the younger, the more tech savvy people, you're losing opportunities again to be seen. So being there matters. Being there first is even better, obviously. Um, and another thing to keep an eye on is the fact that most of our researches, most of our internet experience has swifted from the computer to a phone. So our main source of information has become this. And looking at the websites you have through this eye is totally different than looking at it through the computer screen. Obviously, the computer is bigger, better, gives you, but how many people do have the time to look for information that they need on the spot through the computer? Very few, I think. And it's not something I think only. It's became totally, like, I think that 90%, 95%, probably I mention it in the next few slides, 95% of the experience is through mobile. So we have to keep an eye on that and adapt our websites to these devices. And another thing that has probably taken more and more involvement in the marketing field, but in many other fields as well, is the AI-driven content, the AI-created content. So creating content through AI is now easier, more accessible, more possible, but quantity doesn't ensure quality, and you have always to use your human knowledge, like your experience to create the SEO content. So these are evolving tools, but they are still not able to probably take that little nuances that we want to give to our contents. And then Google My Business. Google My Business has become huge in trying actually to find as I said, to determine a landscape of opportunities in certain services in our areas. So keeping the information updated boosts obviously the visibility and the selection of chances. These are just a few things that are shaping the future of how we should be making decisions into our presence online. But how can we stay updated? What can we do in order to be first, to be there, to be first, obviously, in our area, in our local SEO. So the SEO, you will be probably hearing me talking about SEO several times. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And the search engine optimization is basically the way we feed our information to tools like Google to basically identify you as a possible service for certain possible queries that are searched from patients. So just to give you an idea, and I hope it's clear, but probably in the next few also appointments we're having, we're going to go deeper into understanding the SEO and its little nuances and details. So keep your info updated. Update your opening times, update your services, update your contacts and images. What's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that, for example, you changed the opening time of your practice. You are open on Monday morning. You were usually not open, let's say. And somebody who is looking for a dentist on a Monday morning after a painful Sunday afternoon, they see you closed. So you are not even on the table. You're not even there, but you are open. So keeping everything updated, keeping everything as 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 it is in truth, it's important. Another thing that's important is to put images, keep your information fresh, keep your information uh, sparkling somehow, gives you the chances of being chosen. So if you, for example, look for a hairdresser and you see a hairdresser that first of all, you don't see the phone number. Second of all, you don't see the creation of this hairdresser. And you have a second one with 1,000 reviews and a lot of pictures, and you can see and you say, oh, he knows how to do whatever I want to do to my hair. You will probably be most prone to choose the second option instead of the first one. Then spend wisely. So sorry, a second. Use local keywords to your area of interest. If you position yourself for dental implants and you have 1,000 views on your website through paid ads or Google searches and so on, but not from your area. So, for example, miles away from your area, would that in truth translate to you to have more patients? Obviously not. I don't think that many people would take their car, spend 4 hours just to get to a dentist's appointment. So spending wisely means to use the keywords that are interesting in your area, for your area, and targetized to your area, so that the amount of money you're going to spend is well spent on people that have the chances to actually access your service. The third point is to follow the development. One of the things that probably I have seen all throughout my experience with dentists on this end as a project manager is that obviously you are focusing on the clinical part of your job. And that's what you studied for, that's what you spend most of your time on. And it's important, obviously, it's important to be focused, be there, be nice to your patients, be offering the best service and everything. But you have to follow also the development of your investment. It's investing is not about just putting the money, it's about being prompt. So, for example, when we receive a lead or somebody who calls us, we have to answer the best way to make the first approach really interesting and connect that patient with you so that he has the willing to come to you and put himself into your hands, your professional hands. And then a fourth important point is to ask for reviews. So let's put ourselves again in the shoes of somebody who's looking for a service, who's looking for a dentist. And we said before, for example, the hairdresser, we said, if you have 1,000 reviews on one end and fewer reviews on the other end, and not answered, not taken care of, or whatever, where will your choices go? Most probably to the most reviewed ones, because we are in the end, we're human, we're instinctive animals. If we see that you know, somebody else is going there and he's happy, she's happy, everyone is happy, we would be like, most probably I would be happy too at the end of it. So keeping going more into details on these things is keeping your information updated starts with Google My Business, the website, the social media, because it enhances the possibilities of the customer to come to you and gives you a better customer experience altogether, 360 degrees. So it builds your professionalism. It starts telling these people, oh, they are professional. They know what they are doing. So if you go on Google My Business and update your opening hours, contact details, services, and images, this already starts opening the chances of you having this patient coming in. Consider also your surroundings. So if we have a practice that is close to a school, close to, for example, a big sport establishment, probably that area will need some, advertising in these fields, in these things. So let's see if we offer these services. Let's try to, answer the needs of our area. So to be relevant, as I said, spend wisely. Use keywords that are inherent to your area. What are the local keywords? For example, it could be a dentist in London, Invisalign near me, a dentist in St. Peter's. Be very specific on where you are and your area of interest, where you want to focus on having the patients coming to your practice. Obviously, this gives you higher relevance. Local keywords obviously ensure your ads and website appear first on social from potential customers, so from people who are in your area, so they can definitely come to you. And obviously, how to do that. I'm expecting you to know how to do a root canal, not how to implement the SEO local keywords. This probably you will need a professional. You will need somebody who does it for you. But the important thing is that you understand that there are ways for us to, drive a little the choices of the patients coming to the practice, and be relevant wherever it needs to, wherever we are. Follow the development. I can understand that it can become overwhelming, though, to follow for you the development of, the patients, the leads, the this, and that, the calls, this, and that. You have a lot of things on your mind, but there are some tools that help you. There are obviously professional people who do this every day and try to guide you through it, but you have to listen. You have to be able to keep the focus high, and um, and I want to point out that it's important because if you are looking for a service in a specific moment of need, or in a specific moment where you are prone to, take the first step probably on a big plan because you have been postponing it for a while, if that practice doesn't answer you, you will be like, okay, they like betrayed me somehow. So they're not going to see your professionalism, your reliability. And this is why it matters. Ask for reviews. So putting myself in the shoes of a dentist, I think in review wise, you are very, very lucky. And as dentists, you have many chances to see patients more than once. Think about a florist. You go to a florist probably 2 or 3 times a year. So you see this person once, and then even if you ask for a review, it unless you connect it in some sort of manner, it's hard for people to actually review you. The best moment to ask for a review from a patient is to take him at the peak of his experience with you. So let's assume that we have a patient who has had several problems for years and years, and then you come and you do and create that perfect smile he always dreamt of. So an all on four, so bigger cases. The moment he receives the 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 prosthetics, that's the peak of his experience. That's when he sees like the difference, like, wow, I have teeth now. And that's the moment where you should take a little bit of his attention and tell him, listen, it will really matter to me if you can create a review for me. The patient will go out of your practice. He will probably forget about it, but still ask for your, to your assistant or to your practice manager or whoever follows the patient to call 2 or 3 days after to check up on, how is it going? Is everything fine? The doctor would really appreciate a review. Don't be shy with it. Reviews keep the chances of you going higher in the rank, like gives very big chances if you have more reviews to be higher up in the rank. So you have this immense advantage to other businesses to ask for reviews and be persistent with it, because you have other appointments, you have access to the patient, especially when he has had these big cases. And if he didn't do before the next appointment, call him, ask him again, or ask him during the next appointment. Make sure that you don't have a case. I'm not talking about hygienes. I'm not talking about, smaller cases. I'm talking especially the bigger ones, to, be a little persistent with it. Give him the link, send him the link with an email, and tell him, please, it would really matter to me to understand whether you're happy or not. To stay updated social wise. So we spoke about now SEO and local wise in terms of engine research. Wherever talking about social, there are three main things to keep an eye on. Using the right tools, keeping up with the right trends, and be on the right platforms. So using the right tools, here it's a video in Italian, but I think that sometimes first impressions matter.
Bentrovati. Perché alle volte quando
I'm
facciamo
not
una
gonna
domanda le persone ci rispondono quel che vogliono, invece
I'm not gonna leave it because she's rambling in Italian about topics that are not even dentistry. But what's wrong with this video? Probably nothing is wrong with her content or with the communication she wants to give us. But the first impression is that I see a very, unfortunately, unkept person. Probably the video is not in super high quality. The audio, unfortunately, it's even worse. So when I'm scrolling, I will be probably stopping because I'm like, what is she telling me? But in the end, I get annoyed somehow by it and scroll away. So don't create content that you would not see, that you wouldn't have the patience of, looking at a little more, because it's taken with a potato instead of a camera. So don't use outdated formats. Probably use a little ring light so that you can have the right amount of lightning all over your face. They can see very well your expressions. These are all things that keep a person, engaged, entertained there for a minute. Because for us, it's like having that little few second choice to either catch or leave. Keep up with the trends. Discuss new products, make sure that you are updated on newer techniques, topics that might interest, as I said, the audience you want to reach. So for example, again, you're next to a very big sport establishment and a lot of people go there and stuff. Try to make something about sports and dentistry. Try to, connect with your surroundings and listen and see on little things that you might catch up to get new patients in. Then be on the right platforms. You need to communicate throughout the right platforms. It's important to use the right tools to reach the right people. To take a chance to show you the emerging trends, but from a different perspective. When you are scrolling onto your phones in the evening, chilling, doing your own things, maybe while cooking, while doing other things, you would be probably more prone to see a video, to focus on a video rather than an image. So if you have the same practice, one image, or the doctor explaining you something,
you could see from our
you would probably stop and listen.
They were really nervous, had really bad experience, don't have the confidence to smile. They come to us, we do everything.
So probably I would be more engaging with this kind of content rather than an image. The image, I would have to then open the caption, read whatever they want to tell me. It's a little bit more complex. It takes a little bit more effort from our side. And as you know, people are generally lazy. That's as easy as it is. Then the simpler, the better. Here I give you an example of two contents. We will see first one and then the other, and then I'll explain you what I want to get to.
Yeah, they're completely different. No, I am. I'm really impressed, but.
Oh, yeah, bad.
But it just looks so different, doesn't it? Oh my god! Oh my god! Absolutely love them. Oh my god! Oh wow!
Oh, look at that! Yeah, what a difference that's made. Yeah.
So this is one content, and this is the second. We're going to go very fast.
Process from start to finish. The whole team at Bow Dental are literally incredible. My first appointment with them was a consultation where we did scans of my teeth and we really went into detail about exactly what it was that I wanted, how I wanted my teeth to look. Dr. Annika was amazing. She made me feel so at ease.
So you've seen two different contents. The first one, graphics, so a little bit of a photo on the background, a text, things coming in and out, and a little bit more complex. Whereas the second one, it has more of a simple pace, just one voice, talking it through. The content is, let's say, oh, sorry, I just misclicked. Let's say
smile.
Cleaner. Let's say cleaner, easier to the eye. So in this case, we have also two different profiles. The first profile has 22,000 followers, whereas the second has 2,800 followers. But the likes on these specific posts are immensely different. So on the profile that has more following, this content has created 65 likes, which is unfortunately very small. On the second post, even though the following is pretty limited, like very good, very good, not complaining. She's doing a good job. Everyone is doing a good job. But, the following is different from the first one. There is more likes even than the following she has. So very, very, very interesting that the simpler, the better. That's important. Keep an eye on keeping the trends in, but be simple, be true to yourself. Here, for example, we have a few different examples on, some trends that we have seen online. TikTok is obviously one of the main sources.
We're going to tell you that you need a floss one. We're dentists. We're going to ask you to open wide.
where TikTok is probably one of the bigger sources of shenanigans, let's say, on dentistry and any other service. And these things we have collected probably just a few months ago, and some of them are already outdated. So trends are really fast to rise and really fast to fade. Keep an eye on them, and keep an eye on the ones that probably give you, represent better your personality. So altogether, content, reviews, and interaction are the tools, the little, let's say, sweets that you can catch your patients with. The power of content marketing. Let's go to this chapter. I'll try. I can see that it took me some time to get there, but I hope that you are following me in this little journey. And do you want to really understand how to attract valuable patients with your content, valuable patients with valuable content? Because these two things go hand in hand. It's important for you to write blogs answering the most common dental questions that they may have. You have to think that sometimes I have dentists that say, I don't want to make a content about how to brush your teeth. Everybody knows how to brush their teeth. Or I don't want to make content about what is root canal. You have to think that the people following you are lawyers, builders, housewives. They have astronauts. They have totally different paths in life. And to them, the knowledge you have, as simple as it is not that common. Create explainer videos about the procedures. So I'm going to show you. Leverage social media for patients' engagement. So use the social media as a tool of communication, not a tool to get them in. You know, the communication creates the relevance of your knowledge, and then this, in return, will create possibilities and chances to connect. So content engagement. From a web point of view, the reasons to start a blog to me are almost three, probably another million to add, but three are the main ones. Attract curious patients. So people who are just there lurking around, trying to find the best fit, the best connection. It's like a dating app in the end. They are looking for the best, connection to go to. And then answer the most common question, as I said. It enhances the accessibility. It helps also Google seeing that your website is updated, is taken care of. And it addresses, probably through the queries, people to your website. And then from there, tails can change. And gain authority. Obviously, when a patient discovers valuable content, he will want to understand who is behind the content, and then understand a clearer understanding of who you are and what you do, and if you can do whatever he's looking for in that moment. So sometimes the access of a patient comes from a very nice or a very well done content, a valuable content to him in that moment.
Yeah,
Content engagement. So content engagement. So as we said, you can create special precisely, or you can even be more and more creative and create even more than this. But the three main focus probably are educational videos, behind the scene glimpses, and patient testimonial. If you start creating a pattern of these, it's already good. It's already well varied for you to have the content that you can have. So for example, educational videos can be to share the knowledge and build trust and gain authority, as you can see here.
Most of our patients are adults. Adults have got all the teeth erupted. The adults, we consider every patient that is over 12 and a half years old. What happens with the head is that the whole development of the head stops at the age of 12. That means that the baseball cap you're going to have at the age of 12, you will keep it for the rest of your life. So, for example, content like this is interesting because it can spark also a little conversation during dinner. Did you know that the cap that you had at 12, you can still, let's go and see it. Why not? So this creates interaction. It's like sparks my intelligence.
for example, behind the scene glimpse.
Sometimes we take also impressions. That's wrong. We don't take impressions nowadays.
So these little things where you show your little personality, a little bit of your personality, a little bit of you, you know, smiling, being cheerful, different from the probably professional part that they will see. Or patient testimonials. We all know what a patient testimonial is.
Committed to looking after them, because you do need to, you know, have them checked periodically and you need to clean them. But I'm committed to doing that and to looking after them, and I hope that they'll last me for a very long time.
So trying to get them to put themselves in their shoes. So I'm looking for a service. I see somebody else who had the same service done. I'll probably put myself in the shoes. I can envision myself in 3 or 4 months from here with my implant on, with my denture on, with whatever it is I'm looking for. Content engagement social, it's important to understand the platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, and Google are 3 different platforms that attract 3 different kind of people. Just to go on wider things, Facebook is more of a 25, 30-year-old kind of content. So people on this platform are more in this age group, wherever Instagram is more of a lower age group, while Google is used in general by all ages to look for specific services. The interests and the contents that are on these platforms, or the way people interact with the contents on these platforms are different. Facebook, probably it's people who are more prone to read, to try to find family and personal connections and, you know, look for local businesses. Instagram is more people that are looking for the visual content, the visual content that attracts you and then engages you to, you know, take the further step. Whereas Google is come first, be more visible. That's altogether. Because it captures intent-driven research. It's not like Google propose to you things unless you put an inquiry in. So it's this is the landscape we have, and the landscape we have to understand when we create, you know, the campaigns, we create the content, we create the material to put online. Then we have so the advanced digital marketing strategies. Use the retargeting is important to ads. I'm going to explain to you what retargeting is in a minute, and explore the AI tools for scheduling, marketing to automatize the most difficult tasks. The AI tool can be a valuable ally to whatever you're doing. Somebody once said, I want the AI to do my laundry and dishes, not to take care of my creative moments, my painting. So we want to put the AI in its right place so that we can keep doing whatever we are passionate about. So dentistry in this case. But what is the retargeting? You know, when you are looking for nice sweatshirts and you are like swiping, checking colors and this. And in the next few days, you already know that all of a sudden it's going to be sweatshirts everywhere. But this is not a coincidence. It's not coincidental. It's man-made, let's say. So retargeting, basically, how does it happen? Is it magic? It's obviously not. Retargeting is generally utilized to continue promoting a content, service, or product on social media after you have engaged with a particular content profile or website. What does it mean? It means that when you are interacting with something, so even stop swiping on something, it's an interaction you're giving. It's a signal you're giving that that thing might be interesting to you. So what the websites and what the remarketers do is to basically use the cookies to trace your movements online, because cookies always leave traces behind, and that's how they track your activity. So basically, whenever you go on a website and you're not bothered about accepting those cookies, you're not getting calories, but you're leaving little crumbles. So that's how they understand what are your interests, and they try to repropose the same thing all over again or in different manners, so that you then interact again and buy or do whatever activities is asked from you. Let's explore a little bit of the tools for automatization of our tasks. It's important to automate the most schematic and repetitive task, to be more present with your patients, but it's important also to choose wisely, because these platforms, they have some free versions, but sometimes they also require an investment from your end. So investing wisely is always the choice in my thought. I will give you a brief list of the must-have technologies and must-have websites to probably use in the next future to help you start this AI journey in marketing. We're starting, as I said, a little journey, but don't forget to bring your brain along. AI tools are very nice, are very interesting, are very efficient, but it's always important to take your brain, read whatever the AI is giving you back as a response, because AI is taking basically information all over the internet. And as you know, the internet has a lot of valuable information, but also a lot of things that we probably don't want on our website, let's say. So bring your brains along and let's go on a journey. First of all, graphics. How to create posts like these so that they look professional, they look glowing, they look interesting, they have the right font with the right colors, with the right, how big the font is, and everything seems to be like on point. Canva is the tool to use. It's not only Canva gives you already some ideas to start with, so some templates that you can start with whenever you need some inspiration, but it also allows you to create an editorial plan. So basically, once you have found your style, you can then create a series of posts so that you have a coherence in your brand. So Canva is probably your biggest ally in creating the visual content that can be engaging. So you can create posts like these that look very similar the one to the other, so that you start creating that branding image that you probably wish to have. So, or it can allow you to also, edit a little videos and add to your editorial plan, not only posts, but also videos. But what's an editorial plan? I talk about it as if everybody should know what it is, but an editorial plan is basically a framework that outlines the content, the goals, the teams, the schedule, to publish on different platforms. So whenever you want to start creating the posts, my suggestion is always to create the content not for one day, but create the content for the next few months, so that you can just breathe in, take all the information, work on them together, making everything with the same style, and then, start creating your roadmap from here to the next 6 months, so that in these 6 months you have the possibility of taking all the information you will need for the next 6 months. Editorial plan, define your goals, make sure that you use the AI to generate ideas. So you can go on ChatGPT and you can tell him, can you please give me some ideas on the next, on some, posts that I can use for the next 6 months. Create a publishing schedule, write and optimize the copy with probably ChatGPT. Or, for example, write it yourself if you are a crafty person, and use ChatGPT to review the grammar, to review the phrasings, to review, to give you some other tips. Stay consistent. Stay consistent meaning keep posting regularly. Every week, have your own plan. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes bigger chances of being seen. So again, we're bringing our little brains with us. Let's move forward. Videos. Do you want to know how these people probably have created the videos like this, where do you have a few, in subtitles, a little bit of cutting and putting the videos together, probably 2 or 3 videos together. You can use CapCut. CapCut is a software that allows you to create videos in a very simple manner. There are some other softwares, but probably are more complicated and more complex, especially video-wise, and it's difficult to use. So with CapCut, you can edit your videos very easily. It's very user-friendly, and it has the things you need, like cutting the video, adding the audio, taking the subtitles with different styles. It has what you need, the tools you need to do the little editing that these tasks require. As we said, less is more, simple content, explore AI tools to have more creativity, efficiency, probably, the subtitles. Use AI as a collaborator, not a replacement. Use it to write the first draft of your subtitles or, before starting. So it gives you the idea of what you can say in a video like this. AI is an ally because, for example, tools like CapCut, they have automatic subtitles, but if you have a different pronunciation of a word, it can be easily misunderstood and the subtitle can come up totally different than the thing you're intended to say. So use these tools, use the AI within these tools, but always check, because from ally, it can become your enemy. Endless time I've seen subtitles that are wrong, and it's simply funny. So it becomes very, very funny to see the mistake that is in there. Then the copy, for example, how to create the right copy. Use ChatGPT, use whatever tool that can give you copy. But ChatGPT is the one that probably is the most popular now. Give them prompts on, I'm a dental practice, I need this. I'm a dental practice, I need that. And always, always check. Always, always bring your brain with you. Newslettering. MailerLite is a nice tool that allows you to basically create funnels of emails, so sequence of emails where you can give tips and tricks, keep your patients engaged on certain topics, provide promotional material to your patients. So for example, let's say promo February on hygienes. You will use then MailerLite, create 2 or 3 different emails. You can use ChatGPT to help you with the text. You can use Canva to help you with the imaging. And these tools all together, putting them together, you can then, create the material that you need in order to get to your patients' inboxes. So as I said, generate engaging and relevant content, and remember to review the content you generated to ensure that the message aligns with your expectations. The take-home message. What's your action plan from today? I put myself in your shoes and I give you 4 steps that you should focus on, and you should probably jump from one to the other to start understanding your position. So the first thing is to audit your online presence. Auditing can be done either through us or through like by sitting by yourself. We offer obviously the auditing chances, which means that we take your online presence, we make deep we analyze everything deeply, and we try to understand what are the weakness points, what are the strength points, and where we can improve and what we can do to improve your online presence. So you have to evaluate your current landscape, your current situation, understand what do you have now, what are the things you can improve, what are the things that you probably should be should keep doing. Consistently create valuable content. So as we said, perseverance is key. Make sure to stay active, to be engaged with your primary platforms. Then optimize your website for mobile and SEO. Make sure that your website is optimized, is well visualized by the majority of users, who are people who are through mobile devices. And make sure that you create a good patient's experience also through your website. Let it mirror your knowledge and capabilities. Invest in local SEO and Google Ads. Many people don't differentiate between the two things. So local SEO is basically all the actions that you can take on your website to keep your website organically on top. Organic means you don't pay for it, but there are actions that have to be done in order to keep that positioning. Google Ads, you pay for the Google Ads, and Google obviously is looking for money. Whenever you pay, they put you first. When you stop paying, you're not first anymore. So these two things can enhance your visibility in two different manners, but a combination of both can give you long-term and short-term visibility. So keeping things, analyzing what your needs are, we can understand what to do to help you. Let's try to, I hope that I've seen you today, but it's not going to be like our last meeting, that you're going to follow the next webinars. But most of all, I hope that this opened your eyes on activities that you should probably be doing, and probably gave you the push to have a first audit, understand where you are, and probably start taking the first steps with us in your marketing journey. Here you have a QR code where you can go and find our contacts, our website, and you also have Greta's number. She has messaged you probably to get to this webinar. And in any case, you can find us also on social platforms. You can follow us, see our contents, see our tips and tricks that we're giving as well there. And maybe you have some few free resources that you want to download and make some steps even alone. It's not, we're here obviously, but sometimes even alone you can do things. So thanks everyone. It was nice to have you here. I can see that there is one question. Okay, very helpful. I will need, okay. And if you have any questions, obviously I'm here, and Greta is always available even through our channels. And thanks for following.